Certain people have asked me to address this topic, so I will address it. And I will address it fairly and I will address it firmly. Because I'm not going to stand down to any government minister, any member of the government, or the president himself. He could send the army, he could send the guards, but he won't shut me up. And then I don't care what he takes and what the army takes. He can send everyone, but he won't shut the freedom of speech up. Anyway, on to the subject. People are dying of worry in Ireland, and that is so true, because this government is the biggest corruption in the history of the world. Because this government thinks it's okay to annoy poor old people with TV licenses and making them pay and bringing them to court over TV licenses because they probably don't have enough money to pay. And forgetful, and they can't remember to pay. And then the government brings them up. Because this is the state-run television company. It's not letting people speak their mind. And as soon as they say something wrong, they turn off the whole lot. Some woman was on the telly about abuse of the Catholic, when the Catholic Church was around years ago, that she was abused, and her child was abused in very absolutely ridiculous manner that they would even allow. Should have let her, what I'm trying to say, they should have let her speak. Say what happened. Because if you don't say what happened, it's going to happen again, and again, and again. Because if people don't know what's going on, and what happened years ago, because if we don't learn from the past, it's going to happen in the future. And I tell everybody who's watching, that it was on Joe Duffy Liveline on RTE Radio 1, and he tried to shut her up at every turn he could get. Try and say that's enough and everything. Now that was a pure disgrace, and the poor woman was crying. I felt so sorry for her. I would nearly go on the radio and ridicule RTE, but I'd be fucking sued. And it's simple as that. I really don't care what RTE thinks. I stand against any corruption, or anybody who tempts corruption, or any government minister. If you're going to give me a problem and the country a problem, then you have a problem. I'm going to have a problem with you. And I'm not going to stand down to anybody. As simple as that. I lived too long, and I survived it too much. Too much depression, too much hate. I'm not giving up now. And as simple as that. I'm not going to. People are dying of worry in this country. And it's so ridiculous that the Irish government would not take care of their own people and too worried about what's happening over in other countries. Because that's what's wrong. They're too busy. Donald Trump does this. That's all it's on TV and all that. If Donald Trump jumped in the lake, I don't think Andy Kenny or Leo Franco or Michael Higgins jump in the lake after them. They go for the bank and take that money out first. That's more what they're worried about over here. At least Donald Trump's a fair president who cares for his country, who cares for his people. Michael D. Higgins and Leo Franco do not care for the people. Maybe Leo Franco cares a tiny bit. I give him that. But Michael D. Higgins does not care. And there is people dying with worry. There's people on the streets of Dublin can't even get food. Can't even survive. And when the Pope comes down, they're just going to kick them in off the street so the Pope doesn't see them. And be like, oh, everything's hot and dandy. We paid 20 million for the Pope to come and he doesn't even do shit. I don't mind him coming if he just address how bad Ireland is. It's just ridiculous. Ireland is just nearly a third world country. It's nearly like a Nigerian country or an African country because how bad it is. Because this is nearly a dictatorship. Where people are just not being allowed to say what they want. And what they think of the government. And nobody's gonna, and RTE will not let anybody say anything boo about this, say boo about the government. Because they don't want people rebelling against the government. And that's what's going to happen some of these days. The army are going to take, some of these days are going to take control of the state. And it's simple as that. Because people are just getting absolutely fed up and there'll be a big rebellion in this country and they'll be overthrown the government. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen because people are just absolutely fed up and there's too many people killing themselves and everything. Because the Irish government will not change their policy and it's not worry about other countries. What the fuck would Angela Merkel takes over in Brussels and the rest of them European heads? Do you think they really care about what the Irish people do? They only care about the taxpayer money the Irish people give. They want a few extra bucks in their pocket. They don't care about Ireland. You think Angela Merkel really cares about what Ireland thinks? Or what Ireland even does? To hell with them. That's all I say to them. To hell with them. And if anybody says I'm wrong, Because it's the freedom of speech. You have your own opinion, and I respect everybody's own opinion, and respect everybody else's own opinion. I'm sure everybody has their own opinion, but everybody knows it was the biggest mistake ever for Ireland joining the EU. Ireland should have stayed out of the EU and just stayed on its own. We were better off on our own, to be honest. We have a few good countries. We have America and we have Finland and all that, but we don't have to stick our nose in every 10 seconds to see what they're doing. We could go over and say hello every so often, but no, not go over and just stick our nose into their business and presidential elections and everything. It's none of our business. I don't think they really would care. I know a few good lot of people from Finland, and I don't think they really would care who gets elected into the government and who gets this and that and the other and what happens if there's corruption and all. They would only care if we were starving, which is a good thing about Finland. I have to say Finland's a lot better country than any European country. Because Finland is in the EU, but they're the best of the pick of them. They're the best of the pick of them. England's about the worst of them, France is the worst of them, Germany's the worst of them. Because they really don't care. They don't care about Ireland. I never mentioned them care. They don't care about Ireland. Brexit happens and there's a border. They think they give a fuck. They're not going to lose any sleep over it. Maybe Theresa May might lose sleep over it because then there'll be bombs going off in every direction and British soldiers getting killed every 10 seconds. Because that's what's going to happen if it's a hard border. It's just going to be mass murder. It's simple as that. There'll be troubles and they'll be 10 times worse. Which I say would be their own fault because they're too busy worrying about, we made deals to the EU and all that. We don't care. I think people's lives are more important to the British government. I think the British government should care more about people's lives. I don't know why the fuck it went on with the British government. Anyway, people are dying with anxiety and depression in this country, and it's very obvious to see. Anyway, thank you for watching, subscribe more, and bye.